All right, a little stations review for you guys for Chapter 3 for our quest that covers 3.3 to 3.5. So there's a lot here that's kind of more compact than what the practice test was, but I thought this would be a good thing to watch and or do right before we take the test today. So just to kind of remind you again, like here's what we were doing, right? So like for these kind of problems, when x equals -1 and 0 and 3, it wants us to solve this here. And this was the problems, if you remember, we kind of scratched it off and we said this, right? We said x equals 0 and we said x equals 3, and we kind of did a chart here where I just plugged it in, right? So I've got right here where there's an x, I put parentheses. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit here. And then I'm going to go, yeah, you got that. And plug -1, 0, and 3 in where the x is. And it was like, just plug that into your calculator, right? So here I'm going to just write these down. So 6, 2, and -10 are my solutions. And so when I get that, when I plug those things in, I get an x and really a y, which gives me the points -1, 6, right? It says to write it as ordered pairs. So you need to realize that when I plug in x, I'm getting y values over here, right? So then I plug it in, I get 0, 2. I plugged it in and I got 3, -10. Technically, you could start all of these right away by just writing -1, 0, and 3, and then at least you get like a 1.5 for even trying to do that part, recognizing that. This is where it equals y. So we're not plugging it in here for the x. Look at what it is. It's h of x. So where I see that again, I'm going to substitute that in. Right here, -17 equals -2x plus 5. And some of you really struggle with that, but if I wrote 2x plus 4 equals 10, almost everybody knows you would -4 first and then divide by 2. It's the same thing for this. It's like putting a wall here. You would get rid of the number first. Don't try and add 17 to that side. The number's chilling over here already. There's more on this side. Take away from the side that has more is always the answer. And not the x, because there's no x over here to combine it with. So I combine them, I get rid of those. My -2x doesn't go anywhere. Over here, when I combine those, I get -22. And you divide. And that's all it is. 11 equals x, and that is the solution, right? I can double check. When I plug 11 in here, -2 times 11 is -22, plus 5 is -17, which is what we said h of x equals, okay? All right, let's go down to the next problem. Number 3 is really just like number 1. I'm going to set up the same thing, but using -2, 0, and +2, excuse me. So I got x equals -2, x equals 0, and x equals 2. And I'm going to plug it in, again, right there where there's an x. So maybe I think of this as -1x, -1 times -2 minus 3, -1 times 0 minus 3, and -1 times 2 minus 3. On this one, let's see, I get -1, so that goes here. And this one I get -3, so that goes here. And this one I get -5, so that goes there. Right? Those solutions are points, right? So this means, again, just like this would tell us, -2, -1, 0, 3, and 2, -5. I don't need you to write all of that, right? But it's just a matter of recognizing that this means x -2, y -1. This means 0 in the x direction and then down 3 in the y direction. This means 2 in the x direction and then -5 in the y direction, and they should form a line, and they do. Okay. Number 4, okay, x and y intercepts. These are the ones where we just went x int and y int. And when it's the x int, we said we could cover this up. It's the cover up method. And all we got to do is just set that up. So 3x equals -12. And for the y, I would cover that up. Now look, there's a negative sign there. There's a minus. So that means a -4y equals -12. And on both of them, I would just divide. I'd get x equals -4. I get y equals 3. Now remember what that means. X equals -4 is right here. Y equals 3 is right here, and you connect your dots. It is that easy. Now, it might be even easier to write in the x and y intercepts after you graph it, because the x-intercept right here would be over left 4 and up 0, so -4, 0. Not to mention the x better go in the x spot, whereas the y here, this 3 better go in the y spot. But look at the graph, 0 over 3 up. Yep, that makes sense for that too. These are worth points. Don't forget about that. Even if you write this, if you don't write the point, you're going to lose a half a point for each one of these because I want to see that 0 there. Okay? I don't want to see the point -4, 3. Look, -4, 3 would be right here. That's not on that line. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. And the next two, this is really easy because we said if we just figure out what it's going up by in each direction, we can just divide the y by the x. So here it's going up by 0, here it's going up by +1, and 0 over 1 is just 0. Done? Okay, here it's going up by +1 over and over. Here it's going up by +2 over and over. Again, y over x means 1 over 2, and that is it. That is my solution. I cannot break it down any further. Okay? All right, so from there, well, let's keep going. Okay? That's it. That's all that is. Okay? On the next page, we've got our graphs here. So the y-intercept is always the number without the x when it's in y equals mx plus b. And the slope is always the number with x when it's in y equals mx plus b. You know, this is technically 0, -1, but as long as you understand that you start at -1 and you use your slope, which is -2, which again means -2 over 1, negative means go down 2, we always go right. And I'm going to go down 2 and right 1 more, and there's my graph. Right? I don't need you to do something too fancy here. Just a point, a couple of points. It's got to have at least 2, but 3 points helps. Sorry, forget about that there. It's looking like this, right? Right here, I don't have an x, so that means the slope is 0. I have a y equals, so that means -3. And again, that's 0, -3. But if you just put -3, that's good enough. That's right here. And the line y equals 3 with a 0 slope is a horizontal line that goes like this. And if you don't remember, this is the one where I said pick any other number to put in here. You pick any other number. You pick 2, -3. Right? Sorry, -3. Then that would be right here. If you pick -1, -3, it would be right here. All of those would be on that line. Again, the number by the x is 2/3, and the y-intercept is 1. So I go to 1, and it's positive, so I go up 2, right 1, 2, 3, dot. Good enough. I'm going to go down 2 and left 3 just so you can see that it's that line. Okay? All right, on the next one, this is not in y equals mx plus b form, so I'm going to give you one like this, guys. Let's minus 2x to both sides, those cancel. 2y equals -2x plus 2, and I would divide everything by 2, and I get y equals -1x plus 1, and there's my slope next to x because it's in y equals form, and there's my y-intercept, which is at 1, and negative means go down 1, and in this case, again, it's over 1, so down for negative, we always go right. Down 1, right 1, there's my point. Okay. That's it for that. Let's move down to the bottom here. Okay. The x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, so there it is at -2. Right? It is technically -2, 0. Right here at +1 is the y-intercept in the y spot, so that should look like that. And then your slope between those 2 points is up 1 over 2. Right? I could even go between these 2 points, and it'd be up 1 over 2. So up 1 over 2, the rise over the run is up 1, right 2. And again, it's going up, so that's positive. This one's going to go down, so it's negative. We'll get to that. The x-intercept right here is at -2. The y-intercept right here is at -4. Okay, and the slope, again, from here to here is down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 2. Okay, so 4 over 2. It's going downhill, so it must be negative, and I can reduce that. That's how I get -2 here. Okay, we can't reduce 1/2. If it was 2 over 1, I could, but it's not. Okay, and the next problem, there's an x-intercept. I can see it right here at 4, 0, right? But the y-intercept, there is no y-intercept. It's not crossing the y-axis at all. You should be able to say none. Don't tell me 0, because if you write 0 here and you write 4 here, it's going to look like you mean it crosses right here. It's not 0. It just doesn't exist. Or some of you like to say NA. That's okay there too. Okay? Or undefined even. Undefined would be a correct answer. Any of these would be okay. Okay? The slope here, well again, when it's a line like this, that is just 0. When it's a line like this, that's the undefined symbol. So if I can put a 0 in it and it makes the undefined symbol, then it's undefined. Okay? That is the answer for that problem too. And that's it. Under 10 minutes. How about that? Hopefully it takes you about 20 minutes to work through this, meaning you had to probably stop this, pause it a few times to get some stuff down, or you're just working on it on your own without this video, or maybe you're checking in. Good luck on the test. Do what you're supposed to do. Have a good day.